Last night, the Supreme Court denied Donald Trump's desperate last-minute request, stop my sentencing, please, please make it go away. Now, you might be saying to yourself, why does Trump care? Why did Trump care? He expected to have an unconditional discharge with no prison time. This morning, Judge Juan Merchan indeed gave that to Donald Trump. Unconditional discharge, no probation, no prison time, no fines, no nothing. Why was Trump so eager to have the Supreme Court step in and say, he's immune, you can't even sentence him? The unconditional discharge does not reverse the conviction. And one aspect of this is that Donald Trump, even though he won't see a day inside a prison cell, will now, as I said earlier, enter the Oval Office as president as a convicted felon, the only president to do that. So Trump went to the Supreme Court and said, please don't let him sentence me. The Supreme Court disagreed. President-elect Donald Trump can be sentenced in his New York hush money case. The Supreme Court decided yesterday in a 5-4 ruling. The High Court rejected Trump's emergency request to delay the proceeding, setting the stage for him to be sentenced. Of course, he was unconditionally discharged. 4 conservative justices, Clarence Thomas, Alito, Gorsuch, and Kavanaugh, said they would have granted Trump's request. Chief Justice Roberts and Justice Amy Coney Barrett joined the 3 liberals against Donald Trump. And indeed, that led us to this morning's sentencing. In a brief 1-paragraph statement, the court said Trump's concerns could be handled in the ordinary course on appeal. In other words, if Trump really believes that there is something unjust, illegal, unconstitutional, or violating of presidential immunity in being sentenced, after the sentence, Trump would be able to appeal, and there was no real need for the Supreme Court to step in. Now, here is the most important aspect of the Supreme Court's decision. We knew Trump wasn't getting jail time. He didn't get jail time. Some saw this and said, oh my goodness, 2 of the 6 conservative Supreme Court justices, including Amy Coney Barrett, who was nominated to this very court by Donald Trump, joined the liberal justices and rejected Donald Trump's request. This means that they are independent. This means that they can be trusted. This means that they are not just doormats for right-wing jurisprudence or whatever. Guys, everybody knew Trump wasn't getting jail time, okay? This is not a real test of these justices where we can say, oh, they were so objective. I'm so glad that they just First of all, Alito, who Trump spoke to recently, although supposedly not about this. No, they spoke days ago, but no, never about this. Okay. Alito said he should not be sentenced. The other selections of Trump, Kavanaugh and Gorsuch, said he cannot be sentenced. But more importantly, this would be a much more interesting decision from the court if Trump was really imminently and obviously facing jail time. In that case, imagine that we had a scenario where rather than leaking and being made clear that Merchan was going to say, go have fun, live your life, be president of the United States. If we learned that instead of that, Judge Merchan was planning to impose a 5-year prison sentence on Trump, then there would have been real stakes here for this Supreme Court to say, we are going to allow the sentence to go forward. If Amy Coney Barrett had really been put in the position of, you realize if you allow this to go forward, the guy who nominated you is going to sit in prison for 5 years. Of course, Trump could appeal it. He could delay it. It might not be enforced until after Trump's out of office and he's 82 years old. Who the hell knows? But the point is, we all knew there was going to be no sentence. So seeing this as a strong and objective, independent decision from the court, given that there was no real risk to Trump of sitting in prison, call me crazy, but I'm not finding myself particularly impressed, and that's where I will leave it. Winter is the perfect time to cozy up at home with some freshly baked treats like flaky pastries, hearty breads, comforting pastas, and you can do it without any effort. Our sponsor, Wild Grain, is the first Bake from Frozen subscription box for artisanal breads, pastries, and pastas. Wild Grain simply takes the hassle out of baking. Everything bakes from frozen in 25 minutes or less. No mess or cleanup. Your family will be amazed, thinking you've become a master bread baker all of a sudden. My favorite is the croissants. You throw them in the oven, 25 minutes. Wow. If you're ready to bring all your favorite breads, pastas, and pastries right to your doorstep, check out Wild Grain. You can build your box of artisanal pastries, breads, and everything right now. And for a limited time, Wild Grain will give my audience $30 off your first box plus free croissants in every box when you go to wildgrain.com/Pacman to start your subscription. Free croissants in every box and $30 off your first box. The link is in the description.